Hello everybody, I'm TychoCelchuuu and this is a Company Heroes 2 Shoutcast and I have with me today Bawx. Hi Bawx.
Hi folks, how's it going?
Pretty good. So we have a nice match today. It's from the ESL Semifinals, European Sports League? I don't know. Do you know what the ESL stands for?
I think it sounds about right, European Sports League.
Sweet. So I guess we'll unpause the game soon and then start talking about the players. So I'm at 5 seconds. Let's unpause in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I am following the Soviet player who is helping Hans, who you may know as a very popular CoH2 streamer. He's also a strategist over at CoH2.org. What about you?
I'm following Zelor here on the right side of the map. Like we were talking a little bit earlier before we started recording. Zelor sounds familiar. I'm pretty sure he played CoH1, so we'll see how it goes. But it's a semifinal match in the ESL, so it should be a good game.
Yeah, you know, it's nice to see all sorts of tournaments popping up. We got the ESL doing their thing. I know Sunday Night Fights is going to start up soonish, I think the plan is, and Ip Kai Feng always doing his stuff. So we got tournaments out the wazoo. It's great stuff.
We've got an MG42 start right now from Zelor, so perhaps probably looking to lock down some parts of the map. He is going north, going straight for that ammo point to contest. Wait, he's hesitating and moving back and capping that point.
Yeah, so that point used to be like the obvious lockdown thing back when it was a fuel. Now that even though it's an ammo, people still tend to fight over it a lot, and we might see this MG heading to that house right overlooking it. But it's a little tougher now to know where to put your MG, I think, on Kolodny, because you can't just set up over the fuel like you used to.
Right, and then of course there's only 2 units on the field, and France he's going for either a Volk, I keep wanting to call him Volk, so it's a Grenadier coming out now, so he's going with an MG Gren start, so nothing too crazy. Doesn't look like we're going to see, you know, MG spam or anything in this one. It's a pretty conservative lineup for this part, and pushing north, so trying to avoid maybe having to deal with that southern cutoff point, especially starting on the right-hand side. And against really good players, you know, that can be really brutal, especially if you put all your eggs in the south there.
Yeah, a lot of players really seem to like contesting the north no matter what side they start on this map. It's interesting. I wonder if the 4-man MG squad had anything to do with his choice to make this first. Now that they have that much more survival power with their 4 dudes, might make it worth going here first. But now we have him setting up right over this fuel, going to push these Soviets off of the fuel. So that's a nice pickup for the Oster. Hans is going to be in trouble. He's not going to have any fuel for a while.
Yeah, so I mean, excellent placement of the MG up there. It's really hard to flank that one. Can't come from the left, and you have to go all the way around that building to the right. It looks like you got the Pyos in that building too, so we can go ahead and contest the ammo point. How's map control going right now for helping Hans in the south there?
Yeah, so it's looking pretty good. He's moving sort of slowly down and capturing some of the strategic points down there. He might just end up rushing towards his opponent's fuel or something, because of course his opponent, having focused so much on the north with that MG, isn't going to be able to block his fuel. But Hans seems to be making a dash for something. I don't know. We'll find out soon. His conscripts are moving across the south, maybe for the fuel, maybe for the munis.
And up north, helping Hans just hit that cutoff point there. Very nice play. If you have that fuel denied, might as well take it away from your opponent as well. So a little bit of a delay there. So well played.
Yeah, so one of the changes in Company Heroes 2 compared to the original Company Heroes is that you now get fuel and munis from the normal strategic points, and since Hans has his hands on 3 of those, he does have a trickle of fuel coming in, plus 13 fuel income. What's the Austria player at?
Austria's got plus 27 ammo and plus 17.
Plus 17 fuel? Oh, I guess because he just linked up, right? Yeah. I was like, what is going on? Where's all the fuel coming from? But no, yeah, before he got that link up, he probably had like plus 5 or something just from his HQ. So Hans is probably going to be ahead in the fuel game once he captures the south fuel back from the neutral Oster.
We've got 3 Grens and a tech up right now. First tech by the German player, so it looks like should be able to hold off for a while. I've seen a rather popular play recently where German players will kind of hold on with this tier 1. They'll upgrade their Grens and either go with Gewehr 43s or LMGs and just sort of, you know, be conservative. They don't do a whole lot of map capping. They hold the critical points to get that Panzer IV out. And if Zelor does what I think he's doing, we might see a P4 at about the 13-minute mark. So I'll make a prediction because why not?
to that, we have a clown car out just now from Hans, so we're going to have to see what he does with that. He hasn't upgraded flamers on his combat engineers yet, but he is halfway through the upgrade, so probably when his clown car gets to his engineers, he's going to pop them in, and that's when he's going to try and start pushing off that MG42, wherever it happens to be. Where is that MG42? Probably in the building right now? Yeah.
He's not careful. He might have enough health to get out of there. Yeah, he's okay. But losing that engagement in the middle, just to the right.
Yeah, so now that Hans has the fuel down in the south, which is weird, it's a weird reversal because normally it's the eastern player that gets the south fuel and the western player that gets the north fuel. Now that Hans has that fuel, he's going to be looking pretty good, I think. Once his clown car comes out, he'll be able to push the Oster off the north, and he's basically set up right outside the Oster base.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what Zelor is trying to do. I'm trying to find his machine gun, and I'm pretty sure he has it. It's posted back by the ammo. So, I mean, at least he has that part of the map, relatively locked down, but it's not really going to matter, especially with a good player like Helping Hans who knows how to harass properly. And I think one of the aspects of Company of Heroes is if you're a good player, you learn how to harass correctly. A lot of folks, maybe new to the game don't do that as much, and harassment is as good as being able to, say, pin your opponent down or something like this.
Yeah, no, definitely. The more you can force your opponent to do in all sorts of parts of the map and stuff, the more you'll be able to start taking back map control from anything they've pushed you off. So we see Hans has basically most of the map that matters. He's got most of the south, and he's decapping the fuel in the north. He's got a sniper coming out too, so he'll be able to transition to sniper clown car if he wants to take his engineers out, or he can just use his sniper as sort of a roaming anti-infantry thing. Maybe even going to cap with it at first. We'll have to see. Looks like, yeah.
Have a armored car about to pop out right now, so it looks like my prediction of him going to Tier 4 will probably not come true by that time. Like I said, the fastest Panzer IV I've seen pop out in a relatively competitive match is somewhere around the 12 to 14 minute mark. That's of course, they don't bother with Tier 2, they go straight to that. So we'll see. We've got Panzer Grens and we have an armored car out on the field. So we'll see if Zelor can make a push here.
Yeah, he's definitely heading to the south now. That's he's realized he's not going to have much luck contesting Hans in the north. He probably could fight it out with all these units that he's got, but it would take a while to position them. Instead, he's just going to head south where there's nobody, and then he'll give him lots of time to set up and be ready when Hans decides to sweep south. So now we're seeing a more typical situation on this map where the eastern player has the south and the western player has the north, but I think Hans is definitely ahead right now. Has held both these fuels for quite a while. He's sitting at 70 fuel right now, so not a tremendous amount, but it should be pretty easy for him to tech up soon if he wants to.
Yeah, and Zelor's at a bit of a disadvantage with this fuel. He only has 18 in stock. He's at plus 13 right now, so of course he does have that Tier 2 building, so he can turn out a pack gun or something along those lines if he needs one. I'm still mixed on pack guns. I don't think they're as good, but of course they do have I think it's 4-man crews, right? They actually gave them 4-man crews, so be curious to see if they go ahead and bother with one of those. I just think there's way too many hedgerows and foliage for a pack gun to be effective on this map.
Yeah, it's definitely a hit or miss sort of thing, just like the original Company Heroes. If you get unlucky and miss a couple shots with the pack, it's so easy for the clown car just to flank around you, even without the hedgerows in the mix. And man, Grenadier's getting chewed up down here in the south by the munitions. Helping Hans did buy a guard squad not too long ago, so instead of transitioning to the sniper clown car, he might transition to the guards clown car. Then now that there's this armored car on the field, I'm not sure Hans even saw the armored car before he went ahead and bought the guards. That might have been a preemptive teching choice on his part.
And it looks like, yeah, see if Zelor is going to try and give chase, he's got to be really careful though. Well, he does kill it, it's good there, but it might be a kind of a tit for tat if he's not careful. That armored car won't hold up very well to the rifles. Nope, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, you weren't kidding. So, in terms of trading that, it's not awful for Zelor. It looks like he did just buy a half-track, so he'll still have some armored presence on the field. The question is if Hans goes for a second clown car or starts teching up, and Hans is going for a second clown car, so it is really unfortunate for Zelor that he lost that upgunned scout car, because that would have been really useful against the second clown car that Hans is getting.
Yeah, and I've heard rumors reading CoH2.org posts talking about the power of the MG because it has that staying power, that they can apparently take on scout cars a little bit better than they used to be able to. Have you heard anything about that? Would you advise German players to not necessarily rely on their MG, but it's a pretty decent backup if all hell breaks loose?
Yeah, I mean, what you have to worry about is this clown car with the flamers, right? Because when you get flanked by flamers, there's nothing you can do. It doesn't matter if you have 4-man or 6-man or whatever, it's just going to roast you as fast as possible. Speaking of which, that Flammenwerfer is just destroying Conscripts in the center. But in terms of surviving pretty much any other sort of clown car harassment, yeah, 4 men will get you like a lot more staying power, but I'd just be worried like about flamers really, because that's the big deal, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm kind of impressed right now with Zelor. He's taking most of the map back. He just cut off Hans in the north. He's about to, at least right now. And it looks like Hans is kind of stuck just outside of his base. So well played. Good 18-8 though on that half track. These are pretty vulnerable to rifle fire from the guards. So we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, Hans seemed to transition almost completely into like fight mode rather than cap mode, and Zelor like just either read his opponent really well or just got slightly lucky there, because he said, look, I'm going to go into capping mode, and he managed to get basically the whole map back. So Hans really giving up a lot of map control for not much else. Like, he killed the scout car, but he lost his M20 or M3A1 scout car. So Hans really on his back foot now, giving up so much of the map to Zelor for almost no reason as far as I can tell.
Well, and you've got that Vet 1 MG that can reinforce, and of course once you hit Vet 1 you get that incendiary armor round. So now you have to be really careful if you're helping Hans with your scout cars cruising around. You can't just walk up to an MG like you would have been able to maybe a couple of minutes ago.
Yeah, definitely. And he's reinvesting in the clown cars too. He just built a second one, and so the 10-minute 43, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mark. It looks like Zelor is coming back in the game. He's got an Opel truck parked over on one of his things, and Hans trying to pull off a flank with his clown car here with the guards. Maybe a little premature. He's got his second clown car loaded up with flamethrower people. We'll have to see how well Hans can micro these cars.
Yeah, I'm curious to see exactly what he's trying to do. Like you mentioned, that transition from fighting mode to capping mode. So maybe use that scout car to go ahead and harass the Opel Blitz truck. Something along those lines. Maybe cruise around just to see what's going on. I don't think he'll need 2. That MG might be in a little bit of trouble. I'm not quite sure what Zelor is thinking with that one. I don't know if that's a bug or he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah, maybe he was planning on repositioning it, but then like he realized, oh shit, I gotta set up again, and then he tried to set up, and then he's like, oh shit, gotta get out, gotta retreat, and then he retreats or something. But whatever it is, Hans has managed to push Zelor off, so now's the chance for Hans to try and come back, cap some stuff. Zelor, though, really nice job capping in the north and in the south. These Panzergrens went on a rampage, pushed off some enemy infantry, and meanwhile Grenadiers in the north just chilling out, being like, yeah, we can take this.
Yeah, I mean, this really is not looking very good to the Soviet player. Obviously, it's still relatively early in the game, so we'll see exactly how you push back. But let's see, the choice of doctrine here. Yeah, you've got the Blitz truck, you got the artillery field officer, good times with the strafing run, which is completely and totally broken. You've got the Tiger as well, and then fragmentation bombs, which no one uses because the strafing run is so good. So, if I'm helping Hans, I got to be careful, especially if the strafing runs start showing up. It's a smaller map, so they're really effective, especially on Colony Farm.
Yeah, no kidding. And Hans is just investing a huge amount into Tier 1. He just built a sniper, so we've seen like, what, 3 or 4 clown cars, a sniper, and then a bunch of guards rifles. So he is doing very little teching, dumping all his fuel into these clown cars. And so that's a really interesting play from Hans. We'll have to see if it pays off. Eventually, if the German gets up to Panzer IVs or something, you're screwed. So Hans has to have a plan for that. But until then, he's going to rely maybe on Hit the Dirt to give him some survival power versus these Panzer Grenadiers, and then his clown cars marauding around in the north to kill stuff and cap the map back.
It looks like he just took out that Blitz, the Blitz. I keep calling it a Blitz truck. That's the Opel cargo truck. Yeah, it's Opel Blitz. Okay, I'm good. Making sure I wasn't saying stuff from good old-fashioned BCOH. I'm pretty sure they were called Blitz truck.
Yeah, we had a Molotov in the middle thrown at Panzer Grenadiers right as they hopped over a fence, and when people hop over a fence, they clump up a bit, and that Molotov just instantly killed 2 of them.
Everyone.
And then set 2 trees on fire, too, to add insult on injury. So that's a really nice pickoff for Hans. Especially since one of these other Panzergren squads is neutered. It's got Panzerschrecks now to try and take on these clown cars. So that's going to really reduce the anti-infantry power of Zelor and let Hans spread out on this map and get a lot of cutoffs.
And actually, a very clever capping by Hans. He went straight down the middle of the map. He cut off Zelor completely from the south. So very well played in terms of capping. He didn't take his time and start back and then push forward. He actually pushed forward first and then back capped. So well played there. Looks like Zelor's got some Shreks out on his P-Gren. So anticipating some sort of armor outside of the scout cars, I presume. I would think. Would you go? Was the T-34 worth it, you think, with this patch, or do you just wait for the Su-85 if you really need it?
So in terms of Hans, I was about to say no, the T-34 is not worth it because you have to tech up to tier 3, so it makes more sense to just wait to tier 4 and go there. But Hans has just invested in tier 3. He's like
Okay.
1/6 the way built right now or something. So once you dump the fuel into tier 3, then sometimes it can make sense to go into a T-34. I think the important part is to get a T-34 out ASAP. Don't even stop for a T-70 if it's too late for the T-70 to do the best work it can. Maybe just say I'm going straight to T-34. But at this point in the game, 14 minutes in, it's just a matter of time till the Germans pop out with their tanks, and then that's when you want an Su-85, or at least 2 T-34s or something, because one isn't going to do it. And 2 T-34s is just too expensive, so...
Yeah, and these hit the dirt conscripts just outside that southern cutoff point, obliterating everything in its path, chased off pioneers, which I think were incorrectly microed into the middle of that thing, and then also chased off a P-Gren squad, and I think another Gren squad was there too. So well played, the Helving Hans there on the east side of the map.
Yeah, and so far his sniper squad has gotten 2 kills. I'm not sure where it got the 2 kills, because I feel like it's been doing nothing the entire game, but he's been using it to cap, which is just really funny now. Sniper's a lot better at capping than in the original Company Heroes, because they don't have to get right up against the point. Your opponent doesn't know 100% where the sniper is, so it can be safer to cap with the sniper than in the original.
It looks like, yeah, he's got that sniper running on the north. Might be able to get a pot shot. Got to be really careful, though. There's a lot of infantry right there. So we'll see what they do. Yeah, just take a pot shot and walk away. That's not a horrible idea. A little harassment.
Yeah, Zeller doesn't even try and chase that guy. He's like, not going to happen.
And there's a P4 on the map. Zeller is down to 3 Grens, although 2 of them are vetted. So one's vet 2. You got an MG, that's vet 1, and then this P4 just hit the field. So we'll see. Hopefully map control swings back in favor of Zeller. Some nice hit the dirt, and then a Molotov going off right now by those conscripts there in the center north, going up against that MG.
Yeah, that's the massive power hit the dirt for you. As long as you get close enough to throw a Molotov before you get suppressed, you can just hit the dirt and insta-win that fight versus the MG. Although I guess nice reposition into that building.
And the P4 misses. You're fired.
Yeah. Oh man, it just got AT grenade, I guess, from those hit the dirt guys. If they're hit the dirt, don't drive close enough to get AT grenade unless you're planning on squishing them, right? Because that's just, otherwise your engine's forfeit.
Yeah, and I thought he was going to run him over. Actually, good call by Helving Hans, keeping his snipers. Oh, he should have told him to hold fire. I thought he'd, no? Oh, nice. The brick got that guy in the log. Hit him right in the face, knocked him out.
Well, that's the power of 2-man sniper teams right there. The sniper's just fine. I'll retreat back to base and get a brand new spotter.
That's going to be the worst job in all of Company of Heroes 2, is being the Soviet spotter.
Well, as we all know, Company Heroes 2 is modeled after Enemy at the Gates, and I think being the spotter sucked in that movie, if I recall. Oh man, this scout card down the south gets Fausted. Looks like it's probably... Oof, nice grenade from Helping Hans. Is maybe going to take out this Grenadier squad on the... Oh, he hit a mine on the retreat.
Good mine usage.
Nice. So, yeah, just unit preservation for Helping Hans is just better overall than the Germans. He's been losing a few too many Grenadiers and Panzer Grenadiers and stuff. Probably stuff that would have been tough to prevent, right? That one retreat over that mine sucked, that one Molotov in the middle sucked, but just Helping Hans doing a better job keeping his units alive. I'm not sure he's lost anybody yet, has he? I mean, obviously tons of clown cars. I guess he's not so great at keeping those alive.
Yeah, Zeller, I mean, I believe has lost at least 1 Panzer Grenadier squad, if not 2. He only has 1 up on the key right now. And he's lost at least a couple of Gren squads. So we'll see exactly what's going on with that. His MG, though, has been sticking around the entire game. So that's actually pretty impressive, coming up just past the 18-minute mark here. To see an MG around. That's vetted, I think, is impressive. But like you said, Helping Hans, I'm seeing a lot of... How many Vet 3 conscript squads does he have? Just the 1, or does he have 2?
Yeah, it's just the 1, but he's got another couple Vet 2 conscript squads, a Vet 1 guard squad, and yeah, I guess you'd imagine if he hasn't been losing anything, you'd see more Vet, but I feel like I don't remember any squads dying. And since the Panzergren squad on the field doesn't have Shreks, and we did see this squad with Shreks, that means he's lost at least 2 Panzer squads, which is really bad. And Helping Hans, after my own heart, bought a T-34, even though it's getting late enough in the game for a Panzer IV to come out, so we're going to have to see how this T-34 does. I'm really excited now to see one of these. And also, weirdly, he bought a half-track. I don't know what that is for, but yeah.
Well, if he upguns it, and he puts the 50 cals on the back. I think that's what they are, right? That's the anti-aircraft. So maybe he's anticipating some strafe. I don't know. I've had success with them in 2v2s, but everything goes in a 2v2, so I don't know.
Yeah, he might be. That's a good point, right? He might be so worried about strafes that he's going for the quad on the quad 50 cal on the half track. Eats a Faust with his D34, but he should get out fine. Huh. Kind of weird usage of tanks right here. I'm not sure what Hans is planning versus this Panzer IV. Maybe he's just trying to whittle it down with his guards enough for the T-34 to swoop in with the kill?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it seems like. I mean, right now, due to the engine damage, the guard's rifle are Vet 2, so I'm pretty sure that affects the... Does Vet 2 give them a little bit better firepower with their rifles, or not so much?
Yeah, I was just hovering over the thing, and I think I saw a weapon somewhere, like weapon accuracy or something.
Okay, so I mean, if you have a slightly more accurate, anti-tank rifle, or I guess it's more of a... It's not really anti-tank, it's more of a pestering tank rifle, but... You can take a couple pot shots on the side, it can't go very far. The only issue is that the T-34 can't ram right now until it gets repaired. And the engineers are too busy dancing and not repairing. So.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect he doesn't want to ram with it. What he's going to want to do is use it to finish off once the Panzer IV is hurt, because if you rely on your guard's rifle to finish that the thing off, you're just relying on a lucky penetration, and that can take quite a while if you don't whittle its health down first, and the best thing to whittle its health down is probably the T-34. But let's go ahead and do a time sync. I'm at 20 minutes, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, and he did upgrade the 50 cal on the half track, so whatever that's for, he's definitely got it.
And actually, the range on that thing is actually pretty incredible. I mean, you can lay down a lot of fire. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage, I've noticed from distance, but it's kind of a nasty surprise if you're a German player running some units up the field, especially if it's maybe one or two harassing Grens or something, and all of a sudden they can't move. They get suppressed, they have to hit the dirt or whatever the case is. I'm trying to remember, Relic has the name for it when like a tank shell goes off and all of a sudden your guys they stop moving and they get down. Like the 50 cal can do that. But from a distance too, and so if you're trying to maybe it can put down a flank or something along those lines. Especially on a smaller map like this, you kind of just park it in the right spot, and all of a sudden ZeLor can't move as much as he wants to.
Yeah, that's really nice. It's sort of one of the annoying things about playing Company Heroes, like having your units dance around and stuff. But the ability to make the enemy units do that is really, really powerful. And I didn't know that the ZESU could do that, especially at a distance. So that's actually pretty helpful if they've got like some sort of infantry anti-tank thing like a Panzerschreck or something. The more you force them to do that dance, the less useful they're going to be.
Right. So it looks like right now ZeLor is just trying to slowly but surely maybe walk his way back out onto the map. He's kept that P4 alive, so I mean that's a swell play. There's a second P4 in the K being built right now. He's got two P-Grens out on the field, or Panzer-Grens on the field running around. So we'll see what they choose to do with that. He's just having a really hard time breaking past just kind of the outside capture points of his base. Although to his credit, he has held on to his fuel, so he's getting that back. And it looks like Hans is placing some mines in the south, so some good defensive posturing there.
Yeah, I'm wondering what Hans is planning in terms of teching. He's got 120 fuel in the bank and 650 manpower, so I think at this point maybe he's trying to figure out, do I buy another T-34 or do I tech up to Tier 4? He's trying to figure out, how can I deal with this Panzer IV? Do I need Su-85s or can I just use my tanks? Otherwise I can't think of very many reasons for Hans to be floating this many resources at this point.
And I would argue at this point at least, it looks like ZeLor is kind of up against the ropes. Obviously he does have he's got two P4s now, but slowly but surely working his way back out. And I think this at this point in time looks like it's Hans' game to lose if that happens. I feel like maybe playing as Soviets, as a Soviet player, is it more difficult to land a killing blow against the Germans than it is to be the Germans against the Soviets? Like in your experience, what have you?
So, yeah, I mean, at this point, what Hans really needs to look out for is these Panzer IVs. Now that there's two on the field, he can't just be like, oh shit, I'll just ram one with the T-34 and then probably, like, take it out of the game or whatever. He just doesn't have any AT on the field except for one guard squad and one T-34. And when there's two Panzer IVs, that's when things start looking ugly. So Hans could really be crushed if these Panzer IVs are utilized effectively. He doesn't have Tier 4 up to pop out an Su-85. He's showing his butt to one of these Panzer IVs right now. So nice clutch button though. So Hans everything could turn around for him if he doesn't either get another T-34 soon or Tier 4 soon. Things could look
T-34
bad.
not having a good time against the front armor of that P4. Looks like he got two shots and didn't really do a whole lot of damage to him.
Yeah, and so now we have to see, is ESL going to push his advantage here? Is he going to try and hunt down this T-34? He's scared. He doesn't know what's there. Hans is backing away like he's got something ready, so ESL maybe doesn't go in. Turns out Hans doesn't have anything ready, but ESL doesn't notice. So is he going to hunt with his tanks?
It's a really good bluff, and considering, if I'm in ESL's position with my opponent owning that much of the map for so long, I would be petrified that you've got an Su-85 or something waiting in the background. But that's why you scout with a unit. What I haven't seen. He lost his half track early. He doesn't have an armored car. He can just kind of cruise around. He doesn't have any real way to recon. So, advantage to Hans on that one.
Yeah, certainly. This is very justified caution on ESL's position, because like you point out, Hans could have an Su-85. In terms of what's actually going on, Hans is like a quarter of the way through building Tier 4, but he's got so much fuel in the bank, and he could have built Tier 4 so much earlier that he totally could have an Su-85 right now. So good caution there from ESL. Just 2020 hindsight would have been push in with those Panzer IVs and strike the killing blow.
And that's a pretty lucky sniper. Once again, another dead scouting unit, but
who cares? Yeah, so interestingly, quite a while ago, Hans OP'd the 2 territory points closest to his base with fuel OPs. One of them is dead now, but the other one still exists, so that's really been giving him a lot of fuel, and I'm sure as soon as ESL sees those, he saw one of them already, maybe he'll see the other soon. I'm sure as soon as he sees those, he's like, what is Hans spending his fuel on? And the answer is nothing until he gets Tier 4 out, and he got a really late Tier 4, but in terms of ESL, like mind games, he would have been like, man, what has Hans got planned?
And actually helping Hans, cruising around, doing exactly what I was hoping the Germans would have the ability to do, kind of cruising around with either a scout car or an AC, just to see what's going on. Was able to harass a point in the back, which takes a unit off of the field that he doesn't have to deal with. Although a little bit too greedy into a giant ball of flames, that might be a dead vet to NG squad. That'd be a terrible loss.
Yeah, this would be like one of the first, if not the first, infantry squad he's lost, but it looks like he's okay.
No way. Oh, he got away!
Come on. Hans cannot lose infantry in this match, I guess. That's a rule he's given himself.
Hans can't lose. It's great.
It's crazy. Yeah, tremendous infantry preservation from Hans, I'd say. And so now, again, we have the T-34 versus the Panzer IVs. That guy just got fucked up.
It took a nice shot to the front there, and I think it penetrated. But also, he has the mine there. He has to be careful, though. If he gets shot, yeah, I say that... if he gets hit and that mine goes off, then it totally wastes. We'll see if it does. Oh, it doesn't. But
wow, that's lucky from Hans, kind of, that he didn't lose that mine.
Yeah, I'm waiting to watch a P4 run over that mine, or actually that Gren squad is actually heading right towards it, like a homing beacon.
Yeah, it's gonna be painful. Actually, it's an anti-tank. No, it's a Soviet.
Oh
no! No, not the Vet 2 not the Vet 2 Gren squad. No.
Yeah, so he's got another Vet 2 squad running around, so I guess that one was disposable.
Yeah, no, nothing's disposable for the Germans. He's just lost so many infantry. I feel like this would be a completely different game if the unit preservation for both players was equal. But instead, Hans, with his crazy unit preservation, is really doing some good work here. AT grenade in on both Panzer IVs, so now might be the time for Hans's Su-85 to shine, because it just came out. Brand spanking new. Let's do it. Drive in, kill some people.
What? Let's see. Yeah, right now, ESL not looking too good. There it is. One shot.
Oh no, don't turn your back.
So he's doing the pivot dance. 2 minutes. Is that one miss and a hit, I think, right now for the Su-85? There's absolutely nothing to stop the Su-85 right now. It's nothing.
Yeah, ESL's in deep doo-doo. That was really nice play from helping Hans earlier. He got AT grenades not just in on one of these Panzer IVs, but both of them. He did a tiny sliver of damage.
Run! Well, shoot down the plane, though. That's all I care about. I want to see a plane get shot down. It's away.
But yeah, really nice choice from helping Hans earlier, getting some AT grenades in on both of these Panzer Grens. Here comes the plane again.
Su-85 might be in a lot of trouble. It's abandoned! Okay, so we can actually, at least he can hop back in it, but... Too late. Bam.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. This strafing run doing a bunch of pinning, but not much else. What is the half-track doing? Oh, the half-track is dead long ago, so that's why. He recrewed his Su-85. Look at this! It's because he rammed so the gun is gone, and now he's just going to be able to destroy the Panzer IV from point blank. That's crazy! Oh.
Seriously, man, ESL can't catch a break right now. It's just, there's actually nothing going his way.
Hans has his Vet 3 Conscript squad retreating from the center. It got strafed like 8 times, but it's fine. His sniper's down to 1 man, but it's fine. He doesn't kill the Panzer IV, though, which is impressive. I would have figured that thing was dead, but those Pioneers just working like the devil, repairing it under fire. And that was tense.
Say, give those pilots a medal. It's the only thing working right now for Zelor right now, those pilots.
Yeah, now he's going to try and... He's going to be able to get this T-34 probably with his Panzer IV and could probably push in and destroy the Su-85. He just doesn't know what Hans has in terms of anti-tank lurking. You got to figure, though, if Hans hasn't pushed up and killed your disabled Panzer IV up here, he probably doesn't have any AT waiting in the wing. So I think this is when Zelor needs to just go for the jugular, find that Su-85 and fuck it shit up, right? Now's your chance. You don't have the infantry, really, to come back into the game versus Hans' like invincible infantry, 2 Vet 3s and 2 Vet 2s, plus he's kept his engineers alive too, so what you need to do is really hit Hans, destroy his teched up stuff, and that's how to come back in the game for Zelor.
Yeah, and also, I mean, to Hans' credit, he has been doing a really good job whenever a P4 so much as glances the edge of an AT grenade radius, he gets one off, and so you know, is able to stop maybe the P4 rampage from being able to cruise into a base. But I agree with you. I think at this point in time, if you're Zelor, you just go for it. Like, everyone, just run them right in. Because, in all honesty, I don't think he has enough manpower to cap the map back. And to hold it, he can cap it. Maybe not to hold it. We'll see a little engagement there on the west-hand side. But yeah, I mean, he can't... There's nothing. There's absolutely nothing in his arsenal right now, infantry-wise, that can stand up to Vet 2, Vet 3, conscripts with PPSH, and hit the dirt. There's nothing to that.
Definitely. So yeah, he already had like one chance to make his Panzer IVs win, right? But he didn't know that Hans had yet to tech up to Tier 4, had yet to get Su-85, so he didn't take the chance. Now he knows Hans is teched up, but he did get that Su-85 really low. So this is his second chance to come in with his Panzer IVs and seize victory, and it looks like maybe he's doing it. It's a little too late now, though. He gave Hans quite a bit of time to recover. The Su-85 is repaired and a second Su-85 is built. So I think that was Zelor's second window, and I think it has also just now closed. And he's going to have real trouble coming back into this game, although his map control is looking pretty sweet.
Yeah, map control is actually not so bad. VP's not so much. I was actually kind of surprised that that Helping Hans did a pretty good job keeping the VPs on his side. I'm pretty sure the entire game. You know, if he wasn't at least taking away at Zelor, he at least had it neutralized so that it wasn't going down for anyone.
Yeah, so nice AT grenade there from Hans. Takes the engine out on this Panzer IV with Vet 2. So we did have some really good Shrek hits on the Su-85, so now one of them's really hurt. The other one, though, coming up. Yeah, look at these look at these AT grenades from Hans, just continually destroying the engines on these Panzer IVs. Really good job from him keeping their mobility down so that his Su-85s can do the work.
There goes one. I think he's about to lose the second one. Actually, although it's Vet 2, he's got the blitz. He's got like a kind of a blitz thing on it. So we'll see. I wouldn't go head to head with that. I would try and circle strafe it, even with the damaged engine.
Yeah, look at Vet 2 doing a lot of work for that Panzer IV.
Another abandoned one, really? Turn around. Doesn't matter.
Oh, maybe could have won this fight versus the other SU, or at least limped away, perhaps.
Fizzles and booms.
But yeah, that was a really impressive flank from Hans. Got his 2 Su-85s in there. Had he not done those 2 clutch AT grenades, that would have gone completely different. The Panzer IVs were to circle strafed him into oblivion. So that was really good by Hans, making use of his AT grenades and neutering his opponent's armor effectiveness. So now Zelor's in big doo-doo. Like, now I really don't see him coming back.
Yeah, he doesn't have the ammo. He's at actually he just hit 100, so he 120 to be able to. Yeah, he needs 20 more ammo to circle strafe, or not circle strafe, to get the strafing runs down to at least pin the infantry so that Hans can't go anywhere. And unfortunately, his timing didn't work out for him on that one. He'll have it in like maybe 5 or 10 seconds or something, but that's probably the end of it.
Yeah, so I'm looking at Hans's infantry. 3 conscript squads, a guards rifle, 2 engineer squads, and a sniper squad. I feel like he's had that basically the entire game. I'm not sure he's lost any infantry this entire game.
And there's that strafe. Too little too late, in my opinion. Although, wait a second, we might be able to cap this game off with the dead airplane because we've got the 50 cals up, so...
I feel like I heard a boom. It might have already been shot down.
Or maybe shot it down.
Like
Okay.
over the off the edge of the map or something, right as it was leaving. I feel like
Yeah,
it.
it's not coming back. I don't see the return strafe, so I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I found the corpse. It's over in on Helping Hans's base, right where the combat engineers just came from off map. You can see the wreck of the plane.
Oh, nice.
Okay, so that's even Zelar can't keep his planes alive. So you know when it's that bad, it might be time to throw in the towel.
In terms of the ESL semifinals, do you know roughly how it's set up? So it's not like a round robin one and done kind of deal? Do you know anything about it, or?
I am blissfully ignorant. I imagine it's not best of one, right? Because that seems not a lot. I think it's all been played and stuff. This was like last week maybe or something. So I honestly have no idea how the ESL works. My involvement in this is basically just watching games, but I'm happy it exists.
Nice.
Getting us some good replays, right? Some pretty
Like
sweet games. Hey look, Vet 3 MG42 with only 10 kills, so one of it which is a vehicle though, so you don't see a Vet 3 MG42 very often. So in terms of unit preservation, MG42 you get a 10 out of 10, everything else more like a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 maybe.
Oh.
Compared to Hans, who's just a 10 out of 10 with everything without wheels, and like a 1 out of 10 with everything with wheels. He has lost so many scout cars and half tracks and Su-85s and T-34s I can't keep track.
Yeah, then that looks like that MG is about to meet its fate. Because why not? Cheat it back, who knows?
No, get out. Save yourself.
Yeah, he's gonna run right into a Vet 3 PSH group, and he's got the Su-85 chasing it. Although, actually, he might get away. Yep, he got away. He's in the base.
Yay. So you gotta hand it to Zelar for being scrappy. He's still in the north trying to decap a bunch of stuff. He's getting suppressed by this ZSU and then owned by these Vet 3 conscripts, but he's still trying. He's got infantry all over the map doing their thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really going to take some sort of killing blow, whether it's, once his infantry all gets either kicked off the map or... Because actually, he might take out this staff track, although one of the Shreks missed, and that's over. There you go.
Well, that was a fun game. Great unit preservation by Hans. Interesting play from him, too. Not going up to the Su-85 as early as we expect him to, but still managing to make it work versus a pretty good player.
And it's kind of hard to argue with a game that involves having a plane get shot down. That's kind of rare for 1v1s. So
yeah, no, that's good stuff. So, yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this. Visit CoH2.org for more replays and stuff. Check out the ESL CoH2 tournament. Maybe play yourself. They haven't been able to fill all the first rounds so far, so maybe get in on the next rounds and stuff and play that. But thanks, Bawx, for joining me on the Shoutcast.
Hey, thanks so much for having me.
All right, see you, everybody.